And it might be the peak of this cycle that ETH just gets larger than Bitcoin, and then that will be the peak of the cycle. But yes, just because of how these networks are valued, it's actually number of active users, of which ETH has a lot, and it's not the number of transactions, because ETH has a huge amount more transactions, it's the value of those total transactions. Bitcoin does higher value. But because of the number of applications being built on ETH, it doesn't take long for it to really accrue huge value. Now, some of that changed by the layer 2s, because they kind of batch and only use a small amount of ETH for the settlement layer. But those chains are scaling fast, so they do have demand for ETH. So yeah, look, there's a possibility, but again, I'm indifferent. I don't care. I don't have a dog in that fight. Yes, I have investments in the game, and I can change my investments too. But it's just people get really weird around stuff like this. Even Laura Shin got weird about it. She's like, "Oh, you can't say that." I'm like, "Well, does it matter?" Yeah, I tend to be quite a lazy person, so I'm more of an investor, hold the underlying tokens. I tend not to do too much, because my thesis is the more you experiment, the more likely you are to lose money. That doesn't mean people shouldn't, but a lot of people are much better at understanding the risks that they're taking. When you're using a DeFi protocol, or you're using this and that. Yes, I buy NFTs. Yes, I use a bit of DeFi here and there, but I'm super cautious. So I haven't really explored the XRP ecosystem. I haven't done it on most chains too much. I've never used Ethereum DeFi because I don't want to. Because I don't want to put my coins outside of my wallet. It's as simple as that for a 5% yield. I have done a little bit more on Solana just because the user experience is so easy versus other things. So yeah, I'm generally a bit of a moron. I just keep it really simple. Look, the Lightning Network hasn't really taken off. So as a payments rail, and we've got very efficient other payments rails, faster, cheaper chains that have been less centralized than the Lightning Network. I think ordinals are interesting because by actually putting the asset on chain, you're creating maybe a super safe storage because you're using the Bitcoin blockchain. Yes, it's inefficient. Yes, it's expensive, but my God, it's safe. Yeah, it's secure. So, okay, that's a really interesting thing, and people are just experimenting with it. So I don't know if it changes a lot, Bitcoin, but the other ecosystems, well, they can adapt and change because just by nature of what they are and how the chains work. Yeah, I'm much more heavily weighted to Solana for this cycle because I saw two big technological breakthroughs. One is these compressed NFTs. You can mint 1 million NFTs for $100. Okay, that's game changing. For what? We don't know. We will find out. But it's not monkey JPEGs. It's going to be something different. The other thing was this fire dancer that can theoretically get to 1 million TPS. I mean, that's a whole game changer. You can put a lot more of the financial system on that. So those two things, and then how user-friendly, consumer-facing Solana is, and the strength of the development community, and the fact that it got slaughtered, but everybody was still building, made me think, okay, this is probably the chosen one for this cycle. So other things will outperform, of course, but yeah, that's why I'm just immensely bullish. I also think Anatoly is just a very high quality person, no hubris, talks to people, helps promote the space, is not a promoter. Happy to have conversations across different chains with different people. That's what this space should be about. He's a really high quality person.
Hello, and welcome back to Money Talks. We've got a crystal ball prediction that'll make your Bitcoin senses tingle. Smash that like button, subscribe for the crypto thrill, and let's plunge into the roller coaster of the crypto market. Vanex Sears, Matthew Seigel, and Patrick Bush are gazing into the future. They predict a Trump and core in 2024, and guess what? Bitcoin's hitching a ride on the Trump train to hit an all-time high on November 9th, 2024, exactly 3 years from its last peak. Why the optimism? Vanex Duo thinks a Trump win could dismantle the SEC's tough stance on crypto. It's like the SEC's regulatory clouds parting and Bitcoin soaking up the sunshine. Oh, and they're throwing $100,000 as a potential Bitcoin price for 2024. Talk about crypto fireworks. Wait, there's more. Vanex throwing a Hail Mary. They're betting on Satoshi Nakamoto, the mysterious Bitcoin creator becoming Time Magazine's Man of the Year. Now that's a crypto plot twist. Raking for the crypto clouds, Bitwise's spot Bitcoin ETF is officially on the scene. Listed on DTCC, the Wise Origin Bitcoin FDSA says is here. It's got the BITB badge. The US SEC's approval is knocking on the door. Get ready for the crypto revolution. The DTC buzz has the crypto community buzzing. BlackRock, Fidelity, Invesco, Galaxy. They're all on the DTCC list. It's like the guest list for the crypto party of the century. But hey, experts say the listing doesn't mean regulatory green lights, so keep those crypto seatbelts on. Bitwise's CIO, Matt Hogan, is calling it. A Bitcoin surge is coming. He's predicting an all-time high as folks hedge against inflation. The Santa Claus rally vibes are real, and the BTC price is dancing to the tune of $43,076, eyeing that $50,000 jackpot. This is the ETF breakthrough we've been waiting for. What's your take on Bitwise's listing? Let's continue our discussion with Raoul Pal.
Listen, I've been at the epicenter of the financial industry, Goldman Sachs, the GLG partners, people won't realize, but that was the largest hedge fund firm in Europe. I kind of knew everything from the inside. I opted out of the rat race and semi-retired, moved to Spain, started my research service, Global Macro Investor, which looked like the world's biggest hedge funds, family offices, that kind of stuff, subscribed to. And I kind of forecast the financial crisis. And then we had the European debt crisis as well, where Europe almost blew up. Yep. And at that point, I had to buy a generator and tin food because I thought we were going to lose the banks over the weekend until the ECB forced a bailout on the Spanish. Friends of my parents and friends of friends lost their entire life savings in the banking system. People lost their investments, my dad's retirement account, all of that stuff. And people come to me and say, why didn't we know what was going on? And I'm like, well, I knew, obviously. But I didn't have a platform at the time to help people. Twitter didn't exist. There was no way of communicating at scale with people. So that sat really badly with me for a year, and I thought I need to do something about it. And that's when I decided, okay, what can I do is kind of completely invert the pyramid and give everybody access to the world's smartest people, the best analysts, strategists, the hedge fund managers themselves, and let's share that information in long form. Because before Real Vision existed, long form podcast didn't exist in finance. We invented the whole thing. Wow. And everybody's kind of copied from then. And that spread by word of mouth. People were like, oh my God, it's like it opened everybody's eyes. So our mission has really been to, up until recently, was to democratize the very best financial intelligence. And it's recently changed because a lot of people are doing that now, which is fantastic. So what we're really doing is we built out this new Real Vision platform is to give people the knowledge, tools, and network for them to succeed. So we arm people with the knowledge, tools, and network for them to succeed in their financial lives. Because as you and I know, the reason we've got to know each other just over Twitter is we're in the same network.
Yeah.
Right? We think about the same things. We talk to similar people. We're trying to figure out the world together. So having a network is actually a superpower. But not everybody has the network and reach that you and I have from social media. But Real Vision has created that for people, tens of thousands of people all across the world, 121 countries. And the knowledge is obviously the content itself, the education side, and then the tools are AI, and a whole bunch of other stuff, pricing, charting, all the stuff. So we're trying to create a place where people can take their entire financial journey and start at information, which is where we all start, move that to knowledge, and end up somewhere near wisdom. And if we can do that, we can help a lot of people. As part of that journey was my crypto journey as well. So at the same time that the European banks blew up, I started going around the world trying to start the world's safest bank with a bunch of family offices, some famous guys and famous hedge fund people as well. And we went all around the world trying to set something up. And what we wanted to do was just hold US treasuries directly with the Fed, i.e. no fractional reserve banking.
Right.
Eventually, the Dallas Fed stopped us and said, this is a great idea, but we're not going to let you do it. And nobody will. I said, why? They said, you'll take all the deposits from the banking system because everything else is fractional reserve banking. And at that point, I was kind of writing Global Macro Investor about the frustrations of this. And a client of mine just said, hey, listen, you need to take a look at Bitcoin. I'd heard about it. Right. So this is 2012. And I wrote the first ever macro strategy piece on how to value Bitcoin in early 2013. And I started investing then, seeing that this was the future of the financial system in a world where there's far too much debt and nobody knows who owns what. And even your bank account is not your money.
Right.
I thought we need something else, and blockchain was the answer.
The Federal Reserve's most recent session of the Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC, wrapped up, leaving interest rates as they were. The market, expecting rate reductions in 2024 and influenced by Fed Chair Jerome Powell's dovish stance, reacted positively. This uplift was evident in the rise of U.S. stocks, the crypto economy, and precious metals like gold and silver. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power. We're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.